right, so we've got Colt here, and we're going to demonstrate some of the crate training that you're going to want to do with your pup from 8 to 12 weeks. Now, this pup is 13 weeks. He just turned 13 weeks, but I didn't get him until he's 12 weeks old. So basically, it's like starting fresh. He's only been with me since last Saturday, and today's Saturday. So been with me for a week, but I purposely haven't done anything besides feed him in the crate and just put him in there. So I'm going to show you how I go about teaching the crate manners, doing everything. We're not going to use any food except for the food that's in their food bowl. They will get every meal inside the crate, as I mentioned in our crate training and management program. They will also get every bit of water that they're going to drink inside that crate. And I just use the same food bowl. I'll fill up the water, enough water for them that basically for their body weight that they need for a day in that water bowl with their meals, and then I'll give them water after they exercise. And then I take the food bowl out, or I dump the water out. I'm not leaving with them with water all the time so that they're constantly full of water ready to pee, okay? This pup hasn't had a single accident in the crate since the first day he showed up here. He had one accident, got used to the schedule, he's good to go. Same thing with Annie. She had 2 accidents at 8 weeks old. First day, they were all both in the first day. After that, she was fine. Hasn't had a single accident since. So if you follow that plan that I talked about in the previous crate training video where I was just talking, it works really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I get the pups to go in, what I'm doing with them, how I'm getting them not to blow out the doorways. Different stuff is very simple, very basic stuff. I'm not throwing treats in the back of it. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not trying to bribe the dog to get in the crate. We will do some treat work with the crate later on. And the reason I do that is because a lot of times these Springer Spaniels and puppies at 8 weeks old, a lot of times they won't eat kibble out of your hand. For some, especially for Springers, for me, all my pups they wouldn't eat kibble out of my hand when I first got them here. And so usually from 8 to 12 weeks, I don't do any treat work simply because the dog is switching over to the feed that I feed them usually, as well as they're getting used to eating kibble or whatever food that you're trying to feed them. And that takes time for their stomach digest. And also a lot of times little puppies aren't scarfing down all their food because they've had, a big giant food bowl that all of them have ate out of, or and so a lot of times 8-week-old puppies struggle with that. And he's fidgeting, so I just grab the scruff, and stop that stuff. All right, so because of that, I don't start treat work until after 12 weeks, sometime after, whenever the dog gets interested in it. But I'm not going to force it. There's so much you can do without treats. Treats are not the most vital part of my training program. Really, retrieving is, and a good relationship with your dog. So enough of that said, I'm going to open the crate. I'm going to put him in there, and basically I'm going to hold him with both hands under his belly and under his chest, and I'm going to basically put him in there, make sure he doesn't get out, and I'm going to close the door. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Here. Kennel. Good. Good. So the door halfway was on his paw when I closed it, and I said because his paw was in the way. All right, so I'm going to stick with either or no. Whatever word you want to use, just stick with it. Choose something that comes out naturally. Don't try to force something that you normally wouldn't say to your dog when they mess up. This is going to help us when we get to place board training. So when the dog steps off, we can go and the dog knows what it means because he's learned it inside the crate. So here we go. I'm going to open the door, and as I open the door, he's probably going to try to pop his head out, and I'm going to say and I'm going to close it. Good. And now, as he's not doing that, I'm going to say good. Then I'm going to start reaching in with my hand and petting him under the chin, not over the head, just under the chin. So good, good, good. So I just cracked it. I don't know if you can see that. I just cracked it. Good, good. And slid my hand in there. I'm not opening it all the way because I'm not want to give him the chance to break out. Good, good. Now his release is going to be okay, or his name. So if you have multiple dogs, you're going to want to use their name. If you're just using one dog or you want to release the dogs all at the same time, I say okay. whatever you use, whatever release you use, just be consistent. So, okay. Good dog, good dog, good dog, good buddy. And this is the first time that we've done this with this dog. I haven't been doing the open and door shut thing because I wanted him to be fresh with it. And a lot of times he gives me a fuss going into that crate because he doesn't want to be in there. It's not a place that he really loves all that much. But after a week of feeding him in here, he started to like it. He stopped whining unless he hasn't been out in a really long time or he needs to use the bathroom. He's not whining in the middle of the night unless he hasn't had, you know, unless the cat's down there or something like that, you know, something freaks him out. But for the most part, he is doing fantastic with it because we fed him every meal, all 3 meals each day into that crate. So we're gonna put him back in there. Good boy, good boy. Gonna take him up, open the door, and we're just gonna shove him in there. Kennel. Oh, and it was so much easier that time, no fight, because he knows what's going on. Because we've already did the door shutting thing, there was no fight with him in there. He just went in, he didn't try to bolt out. That's what I'm looking for. So now I'm gonna open it. Good, good. I wanna be able to say good and the dog not blow out the door. Good for my program means keep doing what you're doing. I like it, keep doing it. It does not release you from a behavior. Good. All right, now I'm gonna try to get the door open at least to right here. So started sliding out, just shove them back in there. Good, good, good. Look at that. Spaniels learn very quickly. Spaniels are not very hard-headed most of the time. Usually the Springers, especially sometimes Cockers, can be hard-headed, and Boykins can be soft but stubborn. But usually the Springers are learn pretty quick from stuff like that. Now, if you've got a short hair, you got a pointing breed, you got a hard-headed lab, this may take a while. It may take a lot longer than what I'm showing you here. So don't take this and be like, why is my dog not doing what his dog's doing? My dog's a different breed. I select my dogs very carefully. And this is a very awesome dog and one that I'm excited to work with. Same as Annie, my other pup. This is Colt. They're full siblings to each other. They were exactly what I was looking for. So I'm gonna open it again. Good, good. So he started to come out when I reached my hand in there, so I just shoved him back in there. Then when he stopped trying to come out, I just said good. Good, good. Okay. Good boy, good boy, good boy. And then it's just a little praise fest right here. I don't care if he jumps on me right now. I'm not gonna correct this, he's a puppy. I don't mind him getting up on me. I don't want to discourage this because guess what? If I start discouraging this, guess what he's not gonna do? He's not gonna bring that ball into me the way I like it. He's not going to retrieve the way I want him to retrieve because I've corrected him for coming up to me. That's why I personally don't correct puppies jumping up. I'll do it later on. I manage my puppies so much that they're never around my kids or people to jump on them. And so that's why, besides me, so that's why I do this. All right, so one more time. Kennel. Good. No fight there. I was able to keep the door open and he didn't come out. Good, good. Okay, okay. Good job, buddy. Good job, good job, good job. And that's where I would end. I wouldn't try this any more than that. And then every day when I let him out of the crate, before I go let him use the bathroom, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna make him wait. If he tries to blow the door, I'm gonna shut it in his face. Not hard, obviously I'm not gonna crush his face, but I'm just gonna close it and not let him out. I'm going to prevent the dog from being able to break. Once he settles down and sits for me and waits, I'll say, okay, he can come out and then we'll go use the bathroom. So, if you think the dog may pee on themselves because you slept in, just reach in there, grab the pup, and run out the door. Don't try to do the weight thing because they may pee on themselves. No, he's trying to get at this little, one of my decoys got hit by a lawnmower. I missed it in the tall grass, so it got shredded up pretty good. But, so if you think they're gonna pee on themselves, just get them out of there. Don't worry about that. The main thing that I'm focused on with crate training is him not using the bathroom on himself, basically. So If I can get him not blowing out the crate between 8 to 12 weeks, I'm a happy man. But main focus is him not getting in the bathroom. God, this dog is, you're a jumper, aren't you? You're trying to get over that thing. So mainly just focus on them not using the bathroom in the crate. Make sure they're not blowing through the doorways, as long as you think that they won't pee on themselves. Some dogs are a little softer. You close the door in their face, they'll pee all over themselves. Don't do that. Make sure they've used the bathroom first, you know, and then you can put them in there and do the door close thing. So that's the basics of it from 8 to 12 weeks. 13 weeks on, it'll look a little different. I can't say exactly because it'll depend on your dog, and we'll get into that when we start talking about 13 weeks to 16 weeks. So we're doing it month to month in these young ages, and then we'll do it a little bit further on, maybe a 2-monther videos of what you would be working on after we get to 4 months old. So that's all we're going to work on.